sponsored by your local Ford stores.
Welcome to Fresh Living, everyone. I'm Carrie Hawker-Diaz.
And I'm Caitlin Hansen.
Okay, we have a special guest today. And you may recognize him. It's not Brooke.
DJ, what's up? Thanks for joining us today.
It's a little cold. I'm not going to kid you. I'm really happy you brought me on location. This is working out great.
Of course. We all have our 2 News jackets. I love it. Looking great. And we are teaming up with Utah Ford stores to help fight hunger. DJ, this is a huge problem.
It is. For kids in Utah, it was 1 in 7 kids were facing food insecurity before the pandemic. Now it's 1 in 5, about 20%.
That is not a good trend.
No, it's not. They don't eat on weekends. They don't eat on holidays. They don't eat when they're out of school on a Christmas break, spring break, over the summer. So it's a huge issue. And we've raised a lot of money the last few years. We're raising a lot of money this year, but the problem keeps growing.
So walk us through the Super Bowl of Caring. This has been going on 4 years. We've been involved, obviously. And what exactly is this providing to students?
So the Super Bowl of Caring started back in 1990 in South Carolina. We've been doing it here for about not quite a decade yet. And what we do is raise money and collect food. And originally it was 23 churches in South Carolina. It was different faiths. And so they decided that any group that raised money would give 100% of the money wherever they wanted to fight poverty.
Wow.
So the way that works, because that's still how the Super Bowl of Caring works today. So the way that works now is, depending on who's doing the fundraiser, you know, a school can do it, and they can do it for their own pantry. And there's over 100 schools in Utah that have their own pantries now, including East Side schools like Olympus just opened one this year, Brighton opened one a couple years ago, and Cottonwood's had one for about 5 years. And people don't think those are neighborhoods where there's a hunger problem.
Yeah.
But if you talk to the principals, if you talk to the counselors, the social workers, the teachers, they all see it all the time.
Well, and DJ, if kids are needing food and students are needing food and families are wondering, okay, where do I go? What's the best place? How do they go about it?
Well, first off, if you have kids, they should check at school, because there's a lot of food programs available through school. And there are schools that have pantries, and it's kept kind of quiet, but if you ask, they'll tell you about it. But they try to be really discreet and respect people's privacy and not embarrass kids and not single kids out. And because of that, they don't necessarily know there's one at their school. So that's the first thing I would do. And you can go online to the Utah Food Bank, 211, and you can find pantries. There's pantries in small towns all across Utah. Wherever you live, there's probably a pantry closer than you think.
And like you mentioned a little earlier, I bet a lot of us would be surprised with how many people in our communities, no matter what neighborhood you're in, are actually struggling with hunger. There was a telethon yesterday that we hosted, but there's still time to donate for the next month, really.
Yes.
Well, I guess year round, but especially right now.
Right, KUTV.com, you can do there. We're here at Ford, and we're gonna tell you about the virtual campaign they're doing. So yes, absolutely, you can still donate without question. And people be surprised some of the neighborhoods that have problems, but as you see these apartments pop up everywhere, I mean, wherever you live, there's a building boom going on.
Yeah.
But the vacancy rate's still about 2%. That's really just move-ins and move-outs. And it's, you know, every time the rent goes up another $100, and if somebody's been furloughed, had their hours cut, unemployment, it's really easy for a family. In a neighborhood you wouldn't expect it, it's really easy for a family to still have problems, and suddenly you're choosing between rent, medicine,
and food. Yeah, and we got to eat. DJ, I know you have had such an integral part in starting this campaign. The Super Bowl of Caring is such a big deal to our community and here at KUTV. Why did you want to get involved? And what made you think, okay, you know, we got to get something going?
I knew about the Super Bowl of Caring as a fundraising idea, and I thought it was an easy, quick fundraiser, and so I was looking at that. And I was at a meeting in Bountiful, actually, pitching it to a nonprofit there, and a woman there said, child hunger is a huge problem. And I had no idea. I just had a blank look on my face, as I normally do. Thank you. I don't want you to say it. I know you wanted to say it. But, and she said, I'll give you the phone numbers to the CEO of the Utah Food Bank and to the people who run the biggest pantries in Provo and Ogden. And if they ask them if child hunger is a problem, and if they don't say it immediately, you don't have to do this. But if they do, then you got to do it. And they all said it's a huge problem in our community. So
yeah.
And if you think about being hungry, I mean, it's harder to pay attention in school. It's harder to be engaged emotionally, mentally, physically. There's so many things that this impacts.
When a school puts in a pantry, and principals all over the state will tell you this, it makes a huge difference. When a teacher sends a kid to the office for a discipline issue, the first thing the principal does is give them food and say, tell me what the problem is. And usually, as they eat like a protein bar, you know, within 5 minutes, they've calmed down, and the principal knows the problem was food. Well, the other thing was a minor irritation. Whatever they got sent to the office for, the real problem was food. It happens all the time.
Well, today we are actually here at Ford in Drape, and we're going to bring in Phil. You're the general manager here, and this is so awesome to have this all happening here today at Ford. Thanks for being here.
Yes, Phil. How are you?
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming out. It's a little bit windy and cold, but we really appreciate having you out.
It is. Yeah, we'll do anything. Kids got to eat. We got to do something about it. Okay, Phil. We love that Ford is involved in the community. Why do you want to be involved?
You know, we as Ford dealers get together, all the Utah Ford dealers. It's just not about selling cars and trucks. That's what we do as our database, but we want to make a difference in the community. It's super important for us to make a difference, and so we pick a couple different charities throughout the year, and we really make a difference. And all the guys get behind it and really try to make a difference. And what goes on the Super Bowl carrying is a great event, and we really appreciate you coming out and saying hi to us.
Of course, of course.
And of course, this is a huge need. We've been talking about it right here in Utah. All your locations are actually involved, right?
Yes, we have every single Ford store in the state, Utah Ford or UtahFordCares.com. It's just really important for us just to, as the customers come in, I mean, our service department here has 200 cars a day, and we want to make sure that they know that we're helping and they can help do that too. It's just an easy way for them to kind of all get together, and our customers make a difference. And us as Ford dealers make a big difference, and it definitely changes people's lives, and we feel good about it.
Well, it's a group effort. I mean, we all as a community, we need to be part in helping it. And the stats are staggering. I mean, 511,000 Utahns are at risk for missing a meal.
It's staggering when we think about it, and especially all the young kids out there. I mean, and a small $10 donation just makes a huge difference. I mean, $10 equals 40 meals, so a little bit can go a long way. Helps that buying power, and the Super Bowl carrying is just an awesome way for us to put some weight behind it, and we're really proud to do that.
Once again, there's so many people around us every single day that need this help, and so, like you mentioned, such a small amount can go a really far way. We're going to find out more about that.
Yes, it's so true. Phil, thank you so much
Awesome.
for all you're
Thank
doing.
you guys for coming out. Come see the new Bronco.
I know, it's so cool. I know Caitlin's eyeing that one.
Yes,
I love
awesome.
it, Phil. Okay, and coming up next, we're going to show you how you can stretch $1 when it comes to buying food.